ago when we had no renewables and all we had was Sizewell, Hinckley, Hunterston. All we had was nuclear weapons and nuclear warfare, the potential threat of nuclear warfare and the growth of nuclear power. If you've ever lived a mile away from Hunterston Power Station and you've been brought up in the west coast of Scotland, or you've lived in various parts of Japan during the last 3 years, you will not be too keen on nuclear power for obvious reasons. So I think it's sort of go back to the 60s a lot. It's go back to your roots. It's go back to political protest against nuclear power and nuclear weapons. Go back to political protest against fracking, and go back to direct, non-violent civil disobedience. Its name is Satyagraha. Satyagraha, as we were taught by Gandhiji, is a system of non-violent civil disobedience. And I hope more yoga teachers will start, and more yoga practitioners will start instructing people and advising people it's time to do something now. And that's a lot more important to the present moment than being able to stick your left big toe up your right nostril while balancing on your pinky. Okay? Sorry this is so short. I forgot I had to speak and I didn't prepare anything. At least I'm honest. The teacher always said never own up to your mistakes. All I thought I had to do was teach an asana class. Otherwise I might have prepared something. But I'm going to end with a little quote that comes off my phone. And a long time ago I read a book called, I mentioned it earlier, it's by a man called E.F. Schumacher. You'll be able to read the E.F. Schumacher books outside, I'm sure there's some of them kicking about. There's a book called Small is Beautiful. And Small is Beautiful, I think it was 1974, inspired me as a 15-year-old punk rocker living in Glasgow in 1976 to actually think about becoming a vegan. Don't ask me how, but Sid Vicious became a vegan, so I thought that was cool as well, eventually. And he worked in Food for Thought, which is no longer. But E.F. Schumacher inspired me in many ways to become conscious about environmental issues as early as 1975 during the construction of Hunterston Power Station in Scotland, where we were arrested very, very frequently for chaining ourselves to JCBs in 1975-76. We're still hopefully inspiring the new young people to go and do the same today. Go and de-lock yourself to a JCB or an aeroplane. Go and do something that doesn't harm people, but may harm their business, that may harm their government, that may harm their realism. And the man who's sitting in front of me here was quoted as saying, look at what the realists have done for us. How many times have you been told to get real? Stewart, what do you think about the immigration problem? I think there should be free movement of people with free borders, with no border control at all. Oh, fuck off, get real, you hippie. That's what someone said to me the other day. Said, get real, you fucking hippie. And I was like, I am real. The only way you'll stop migration is by letting people travel freely. And don't turn around and say, get real, what about Ebola, or what about the financial implications? There are none. It's quite easy, they're just human beings. Anyway, look at what the realists have done for us. They have led us to war and climate change, poverty, and on an unimaginable scale. They have led us to wholesale ecological destruction. Half of humanity goes to bed hungry because of all the realistic leaders in the world. I tell people who call me unrealistic to show me what their realism has done. Realism is an outdated, overplayed, and wholly exaggerated concept. Now you have the opportunity, probably, somewhere in your life, and hopefully the tenacity and the bravery to go out and create a reality that is a bit more reasonable, logical, loving, and caring, And after a very famous anarchist philosopher, war is bad, capitalism is bad, and people and your planet matter. That's all I want to say, thanks.